Vedanta Swamini Namini. Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Pashata Desh Dharani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vedadadara Shivashadi Gauravaktarani. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare. So today I am going to take you to Mahabharata, and we are going to see about Kunti. There is a book called Srimad Bhagavatam, which we all ISKCON devotees respect a lot. So in Bhagavatam, the first canto, after the regular introduction and everything, the first ever prayer, the first ever spiritual topic which glorifies Lord Krishna is spoken by Srimati Kunti. So she is the first character we can say in that book who starts speaking about devotion and who starts speaking about spiritual topics and everything. She is given such a prominent position in Srimad Bhagavatam also. So Kunti, if you want to see in Mahabharata, yes, normally in Vedas and normally in Puranas, we can see there is a slight difference in the roles of what a man can do, what a woman can do. Normally a woman is not made a administrator, though she is a queen, but she is not made a king. So there are different roles in Vedic times given for woman and man. And there are some clear rules which we can see. So normally we can say that externally, though it appears that man dominated the whole scene. But if you really go into the history and if you really go into the Mahabharata, and we can see that it is not that women are always not. Normally in Vedas, what woman is expected is to be, we call it as Vamaswabha. Somebody is saying my work. So Vamaswabha means you normally woman is considered as very soft, very gentle, always at the background, and like that we have so many qualities ascribed as a feminine natures, and that is even in Bhagavad Gita there is a shloka which is called as feminine natures. So woman is expected to have all those qualities, and all those qualities are named as feminine. So there is a clear what are the qualities we expect from woman and what are the qualities we expect from man. There is a clear division. But if you see Mahabharata, for example, Mahabharata itself, actually it is not that man who decides many things there. It is woman who are the background who decides many things. For example, the whole Mahabharata, the whole reason for this whole fight and everything, the basic reason comes from a vow which was taken by Satyavati. So Maharaj Santanu wants to marry Satyavati, and Satyavati is not an ordinary girl where her father selects her and selects you have to marry so and so person, please go and marry. His father is also not like that, and she is also not like that. Both of them decides and put a condition that his father particularly says that I will get married to you only if my sons will become king later, and Sri Bhishma is going to become a obstacle for it. How are you going to handle it? So because of Satyavati only, the whole vow comes that where Bhishma says that I will never marry. I will see that all the sons of Satyavati becomes future kings. So the whole history of Mahabharata starts just because Santanu wants to get married to Satyavati. And she was already having Vyasdeva as a son. So we can see that Satyavati plays a very big role in the Mahabharata. If she would not have demanded, or she would have done something else, whole Mahabharata would not be this way. Then we can always Mahabharata, at the end we can see that it is Draupadi who is the main character. Just because Draupadi was disrobed in that assembly, but I always repeatedly say about Draupadi whenever this episode is quoted, you cannot even see in such a rascal democracy which we see nowadays, where the MLAs are bought and we have so much Lotus operation, that operation, that operation. Both parties are useless. such a rascal democracy and rascal Kali Yuga. But even now, you cannot find an incident where one is dragged in the assembly in front of everybody, and one man comes and tries to disrobe her in front of everybody, that too in front of all the husbands, and that too in front of your grandfather and everything. So you cannot find any instance, even the recent rape instance, whatever happened, it was in a private, either in a bus or in some remote places. It doesn't happen in front of somebody, and the society is not so degraded that you try to disrobe a woman for nothing of her fault. She has not done anything. Even nowadays, you cannot find such an instance. So it happened 5,000 years ago, means how rascal the assembly was. So that's why Krishna decides that this assembly should not exist and new assembly should be formed as the new king. So Draupadi was the main reason for the whole Mahabharata. What happened to Draupadi and what Draupadi did becomes the main reason for the whole Mahabharata. So it appears externally that man controls, but it is because of woman only. And you can say whole Ramayana is because of Sita. So please, we can say that we can understand that women play a very big role. But the role of Kunti is completely different. If you have to understand Kunti, you have to understand her completely. Normally in Vedas, you can see that woman is always has to be supported by husband if she is married. If she is unmarried, she has to be supported by the father. And if the husband dies and there is no father, then you have to be supported by your son. This is the rule of Manu Samhita. So it clearly says that woman should be under somebody and she doesn't have the right to take independent decisions. She always has to be protected by somebody. That is the message we get it from repeatedly from Vedas. But let us analyze what are the incidents happened in Kunti. So Kunti, first we see her, she is at the age of maybe 10 to 13. That is the age. She is just matured. She is going to select her husband on her own in a Swayamvara, which is going to happen. And she was born to Ugrasen Maharaj. His brother was Vasudev, who gave birth to Krishna called Vasudev. So materially, she is uncle. She is aunt for Krishna, and Vasudeva and she are brothers. But she did not live in Mathura or with Ugrasen. She was given as adoption to Ugrasen's friend called Kunti Bhoja, and since he was brought by Kunti Bhoja, her name changed to Kunti. So we can see that she never lived with her own father, but she was adopted and given to another person. And that person was also very, very dear. And so at the age of 10 or 13, with that age, very young age, she was given the responsibility to take care of a sage called Durvasa. Durvasa is you can see that he is a very, very irritating sage. Unpredictable, irritating, whatever character you want to put on him, anger, you can put on him. So what is the type of irritation he gives? If you want to know by example, he will come, he will say that I'm hungry. Then you have to immediately give him within 5 minutes whatever he demands. And everything should be hot, it should be freshly cooked. And after you serve everything to him, he'll suddenly get up and say, no, I'm not going to eat now. And he'll go away. And then you have kept something for him hot, you serve him and he doesn't eat. And it is not that you can keep it in the fridge and you can serve him the same thing later. No, sages are respected. So very, very respected those days. So they have to be given always fresh, hot items. So after 5 minutes, he will come again and say, I'm hungry. In the meantime, there should be another set of dish should be made, which should be different from the first dish which was served 5 minutes ago. So you have to go and serve him that. So you don't know when he'll come and eat what he needs, and every time you should be 24 hours, you should be ready. 24 hours, somebody should be outside of the room. Anytime he'll ask anything. So that is the character of this sage Durvasa. So Kunti was given the responsibility of taking care of this so much irritating sage. and she took care of him very, very nicely without even complaining a bit. Whatever irritation whatever he is asked, he said without, she said yes, without even questioning his craziness. So say Durvasa was very, very happy. So before leaving, he gave a mantra. He told that later part in your life, you will have a difficulty in giving birth to child. So I'm giving you a mantra. By using this mantra, you can get divine child from demigods. So please have this mantra. So out of childs, because she is at the age of 10 or 13, what is that? At the age of 10, you will know. Out of curiosity, she used that mantra against Surya. So Lord Suryadev came and he gave birth to a child. He gave a child to her, and that child was Karna. Now she is unmarried. Her marriage Swayamvara is going to happen within a few days, and she is a queen of a kingdom. And suddenly she has got a baby, and she has to decide what to do. And woman, we know that has to take a decision, has to be always on father, husband or son. So if after this incident, normally what she has to do, she has to do it. She has to either go to Guru, or she has to go to her, or she has to take help of some man, and should have asked what should be done. But we can clearly see from Mahabharata that she did not ask anybody, because the situation was like that. If she reveals to anybody, it is not her image which is going to get spoiled. It is the kingdom's image which is going to get spoiled. There are so many questions which are going to spoil the name of the kingdom. So just for some political reason not to affect, which is not the kingdom's fault, she decides to keep that whole matter secret, and she decides to put the child in a small basket and put it in a river. All these decisions she took on her own. She did not consult anybody, and it was not a small decision. And this decisions, it changed the whole Mahabharata. We can know that. We can later discuss about Karna in detail, which changed the whole Mahabharata in such a way that the Mahabharata happened this way. So she took the important decision of Mahabharata without consulting anybody, and still she is glorified as the best devotee and the best woman and the best character which we can follow. Best woman should be followed by any woman. So we can see that it is not that Shastras kept always the woman under somebody, or Shastras did not give independence to women, or nothing like that. But yes, it is given under some situation, and some woman took some very bold independent decision, and one of those women was Queen Kunti. So this is not the first decision she is taking. There are so many decisions and so many incidents which happen later, which I am going to explain now continuously. In the meanwhile, if I want to understand whether I am audible, whether my speed is okay, whether you are able to follow this story, can you put in chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask something?
Yeah, Prabhuji, you are audible. Excellent.
Thank you.
Fast
is the story flow okay? Fast, slow, detail?
Yeah, the fast is okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Is there anybody else, any doubts or any different opinions you have?
No, Prabhuji, all good.
All good, Prabhuji, all good.
Thank you. Thank you for all the response I got. Anytime if you want to have a question, please type in the chat so that I can answer later, but please continue. So this she makes, and second then afterwards she goes and select Pandu as her husband, and she get married, and again her life is not smooth. Bhishma thought that previously he had a bad experience with sons of Satyavati, Vichitra Virya, and all those people. They died so quickly, and their wives did not produce offsprings. So Bhishma was worried. So he thought that Pandu should not marry only Kunti. She will marry one more lady to her, and she goes and marries Madri also. So she gets a co-wife, but Kunti, for some or other way, Madri also behaves nicely. She takes her as a sister, and both doesn't have any fight among themselves, though there are some issues, but you can see that her life was okay. It is not that the second wife came and spoiled her whole life. It was okay, even though second wife came. But the real problem comes later. Pandu was very healthy, nice. Their married life was very nice, so beautiful. But suddenly, one day Pandu goes for hunting and he goes and kills a deer, two deers, which were copulating, and he did not understand that they were sages in a deer farm. So that sage gives what you can say punishment to Pandu, saying that if at all if you ever try to produce any offsprings, you will die that time itself. So Kunti life was very smooth, but suddenly again whole life changes. Husband cannot produce any offsprings. The husband approaches the wife, the husband will die. Such a bad thing which can happen to any woman in the life. So Pandu decides that no, I'll go to forest, I'll leave everything, I'll leave the kingdom. Kunti was married to as a queen in the kingdom. Now everything goes just by this one curse. The whole life changes. So Pandu decides to leave the kingdom. He goes to forest. And these two poor women, two poor wives, did not have much. They told, no, what we'll do is sitting here without you in the kingdom where we are not queens, nothing is happening. So we will also come with you to the forest. And there they all live austere life where Pandu is careful not to approach the wives for any conjugal feelings so that he is careful that he will not die. So suddenly Pandu asks Kunti, no, I want to have a child. So now we have IV and all those methods. There are also in those days also there was some method like that where they get through some other person. So that was a little different method. And Kunti was told like this. Then Kunti reveals, no, I don't want to use those process. But Durvasa Muni was given some mantra. I can get divine child from demigods. So till that time, she keeps this whatever half secret which she kept, she is forced to reveal to her husband because the husband is forcing her to have child with somebody else. So at a very critical junction, she has to reveal some secret, but she did not reveal fully. She reveals half. So it is not that they are completely completely surrendered to husband and they have told everything to husband. No, not like that. They tell in secrets, and it is not that Pandu scolded her, why you did not tell that first? I was very happy to know this. And they produce 5 wonderful children. So life is going smooth. They have 5 children. They are living in the forest, enjoying the whole life. The children are very nicely coming, and they are brave, intelligent, everything. What else you can say? What the best children you can ever imagine in your life to get it. So at least from here onwards, the life will be smooth. Which we think, no, again another problem happens. Pandu somehow or other gets attracted to the second wife Madri, and he dies. Then again the whole life goes to zero again. She is now widow, and the second wife also dies with the husband because of the guilt she feels. And not only widow, she is with 5 children. So this situation is not so dangerous, but it becomes so dangerous because when Pandu is absent, Dhritarashtra becomes a king. And Dhritarashtra so externally looks nice, but internally he doesn't want Kunti's children to become a king. He wants his son Duryodhana to become the king. And Duryodhana is such a treacherous and such a very poisonous person. And to live under them, this Kunti feels heat and she cannot live there properly. But normally those days when a woman get widow, they are sent to the father's house. But if she goes back to father's, will also go there, and they will lose the right of the kingdom which they are supposed to get it. Because Yudhishthira is the eldest person, he is supposed to become the next king. If he doesn't live in Hastinapur, if he goes back to Kunti Bhoja, his Yudhishthira's life and his brother's life will get spoiled. So what normally a woman has to do, go back to father. Those days, she doesn't decide that. She goes and live back in the Hastinapur kingdom. But she is living under a poisonous king and poisonous Duryodhana, which we can understand from at the age of maybe when Bhima was just 5 years old or something. Though Bhishma, Duryodhana, there are so many people who are taking care of Kunti. Vidura, everybody is there. But see how her life is that nobody can protect her. At the age of 5, Bhima is poisoned by giving a poison. I assume that everybody knows a little bit Mahabharata. That's why I'm not detailing the names or detailing any incidents. Please, if somebody doesn't know, please forgive me. So Bhima was poisoned by Duryodhana and thrown into the river. And Bhima is missing for 7 days. He has gone to Patalo and nobody knows, but outside nobody knows what has happened. 7 days, this mother is suffering without the second child. She doesn't know what has happened, and it was poisoned by Duryodhana. He doesn't reveal, and she knows that something is done by Duryodhana and camp, but she cannot openly tell it because she has to again live in the same house. So 7 days she doesn't know whether her Bhima is alive or dead. So after 7th day, Bhima comes back and tells the whole thing how Duryodhana poisoned him. So now you have to live in a house where the house owner, the house king, have already poisoned you, and we don't know when he is going to try for the next time. And this is the worst position you can live. So though there is Bhishma, though there is Vidura, though there is so many people, she cannot believe anybody. Nobody is going to come to her rescue, and she has to take care of her childs. And their childs are also not ordinary childs. They are playful. They are always, Bhima always fight with Duryodhana. So always there is a fight between Duryodhana camp and his child. Always she has to pacify the child, and it is not a small thing. So she is suffering and suffering and suffering. So again, another attempt is done for life. When they are sent to, before that, what happens is they sent to Varnavath. Yes, they are sent to, their kingdom is divided into half. Indraprastha is, Varnavath is given to Yudhishthira, and there Duryodhana builds a wax house, which externally looks like a normal brick house, but the material used are very high quality wax, which we cannot easily identify as wax. It looks externally like a normal house, but once you put a fire in this house, in seconds the whole house will melt and it will kill all the people inside. Vidura some or other way helps, and these 5 people plus mother escapes through underground tunnel, and they go and live incognito without telling to anybody. Yeah, now this is the last. If they go again and live in the same house, next time they are going to again kill them. So this time at least some or other way they escape. There is no guarantee for the life next time. So they decides to live incognito. Without they are in the forest. They are living in a forest called Eka Chakra. They are living in a Brahmin's house, and there is a demon called Bakasura. That Bakasura, they are living in a that village. The tradition is every day one person has to go and he has to cook all the items and go. The demon Bakasura will eat that person and eat all the items brought by that person. So that is the tradition which the Ekachakra village has kept to protect the people from Bakasura from killing everybody in the village. So the turn of that Brahmana where Kunti is living is coming. So Kunti is hearing the cry of the whole family. The Brahmana is saying, no, I will go. Please, all of you, he is telling his wife, no, please, after me, take care of the child. The wife is telling, no, as a woman, what I can do, please, I will go. You can remarry somebody else and take care of the children. And the children are saying, no, I will go. And the small young kid is saying, no, I will go and kill Bakasura. Like that, the whole family is crying. Kunti Maharani overhears it, and she tells that, don't worry, I'll send my second child, who's Bhima, who has got some mantras, divine mantras. He will go and kill that Bakasura. This Brahmana is saying, no, you are my guest. How can I allow you to take a risk on our behalf? No, we cannot do. And Kunti says, no, my son is very powerful. He has some secret mantras. For him, Bakasura is nothing. The Brahmana is not able to believe it, but still he has no other go. So he is giving permission for Kunti to send Bhima in spite of their Brahmana. Then Yudhishthira comes back. He asks what she has decided. Kunti tells, no, I am going to send Bhima to send to that Asura. Then Yudhishthira asks a question, how can you take a risk of my brother? I need him. We are going to fight Duryodhana. I have kept all my faith on that brother. I cannot take a risk for something which we are not part of it. But then Kunti decides, no, I am going to send Bhima. So like this, we can see the whole life that Kunti was not under the sons. The sons were under Kunti. It is not that she were under the sons and they were taking the decision. She was saying yes to everything. No. She was taking the important decisions and they were saying nodding their head. I'll give some more instance to prove that. And Bhima goes. He was very happy because he has to live with. They were living by begging. And Bhima will get begging, how much he will get? Little bit food. And he has to share with everybody. He was not happy. Now he is able to eat the whole food and he wants to fight with the Asura and he can go and eat there also. He was very happy and kills the Asura and comes back. And afterward they decide that since they have killed the Asura, the whole talk comes, oh, who are these people, everything. Kunti decides that no, if we live here, Duryodhana will find that we are living here. So they move out of the village and come to Virata. In Virata, that time Draupadi Swayamvara is happening. Arjuna goes and wins Duryodhana, Karna, everybody, and he takes Draupadi as a gift by using some peculiar arrows. So Arjuna is coming back, winning over Draupadi to the hut where they are all living in Virata. Kunti Maharani is Yudhishthira is telling Kunti Maharani, her mother, we have brought something for you. And Kunti Maharani thinks that it is normal begging, which alms they have brought. She tells, without even looking back, saying that divide the alms among yourself equally. And without understanding that it is not normal food which they have begged, today they have won Draupadi. So Kunti says only one word without seeing even Draupadi. You have to divide the alms equally among yourself. What is the arm? That is a woman. And instead of marrying one Arjuna, Draupadi is get to marry all 5 people. You think about the situation. There is a daughter-in-law coming to a family, and there is a mother-in-law. Mother-in-law, without knowing, without even seeing the daughter-in-law, tells some instruction, and that too the instruction like this, that you have to marry all the 5 people. Do you think any daughter-in-law will obey? No daughter-in-law would obey. And do you think that son will obey the mother like this? No, we don't see. Even those days, 5,000 years ago also, we can see. I'll give an example of how Gandhari was completely disobeyed by Duryodhana. It doesn't happen. It is very rarely that mother is respected someone. Without even understanding the issues, Kunti said something, all 5 sons are accepting, and the daughter-in-law is accepting, then how powerful she should be. And though Vyasdev comes and explains why it is happening, so there are so many backstories for it. But at the end of the day, Kunti is powerful. She decides, everything happens. But you see from the angle of Kunti, it looks politically to look like this, very interesting. But from angle of Kunti, you see a woman, it is not that out of her ego, she is making decisions and she thinks that she is ahead and she is over egoistic or like that. She is so responsible. She is doing it as in the place of her husband. And you think about a situation where your firstborn child, leave it in a small basket and throw it in a river. Do you think that any woman is going to be happy? Any mother is going to be happy? Nobody is going to be happy. Well, we come back to Karna. She has left the child like that. And do you know when she finds again? She finds again the child when Arjuna is showing all the skills after finishing his school in front of everybody. That time Karna comes and fight Arjuna. And Karna becomes a friend of Duryodhana. That is the time Kunti realizes that that son which she threw away which she left in the river is alive again. And that too, she is seeing that that son is fighting against Arjuna. And now again she decides to keep the secret for so many political reasons. There also she takes a decision. And how painful it would have been there for a mother to see the son back after some 10-15 years, and again seeing the son is coming back, but she cannot openly declare that it is my son, and that son is fighting against her own other sons and joining the enemy camp. How painful would have been there. So her life, you can see that it is fully painful, and she takes the responsibility when nobody is there to help her children and everything, and she takes it not out of ego but out of no other way. Where she gets all this strength, that is a whole thing, the whole analysis which we are going to do today. So Draupadi is married and everybody comes to know that they are alive, and again they are coming back and they are living in Indraprastha. Yudhishthira is doing Rajasuya Yajna. Duryodhana is getting angry and he is calling Yudhishthira for a gambling match. We can see normally Yudhishthira doesn't do anything without consulting his mother, but this time Yudhishthira did not consult his mother also. But there is no other way, because the king is called for a challenge in gambling. He has to go. He goes, gambles, and lose the kingdom, lose the wife, and And there we can see that Draupadi is disrobed. All bad things which should not happen in anybody's life happens there. And this time, this is the first time we can see that Kunti is not going with the sons. It is the wife which is going with the sons. So till that time, she is always with the son and she takes the decision. Next 13 years, we can see Draupadi getting more prominent than Kunti Maharani. 13 years, we don't see much Kunti playing the role in Mahabharata, and she takes a little backside role. If you have any doubts, if somebody wants to ask any questions or any comment, you can make it. Just next 15 minutes, we will summarize the class. I'm leaving for 2 minutes a gap. If anybody wants to have any doubts, any explanation, or if you have a different opinion, you can ask. Yeah, unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat box. I'm giving you. Nivas Pro, do you want to say something?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Dandavat.
Please accept my amount.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, when Kunti Mata, when she said to, whatever arms or whatever, by begging they get everything. So on that, when Arjuna won Draupadi in Swayamvar, like in that. So means why that happened actually? Why Draupadi was divided among the Pandavas? So what is the reason why it has happened?
Draupadi, she does some penance, and she asks Shiva 5 times that I need a husband. And since she asked 5 times, Shiva gives a benediction that you will get 5 husbands for you. So there is some backstory said, and there are so many reasons why this is a very peculiar arrangement. We can never see a man marrying so many women is normal in Vedas. We can see in Puranas. But a woman marrying so many men is completely unheard of. But this has happened that too to a glorious woman called Draupadi. So, and Vyasdev comes and gives a whole arrangement how it should happen, how they have to live, who has to live, and when they have to live. So there is a detailed arrangement given. And Draupadi is the main character, and she is expected to be protected by all the 5. So there are so many reasons said which we cannot summarize in this class. But we cannot put all the blame only on Kunti. That is the only line which I want to say. But though it was spelled out by Kunti, and she thinks back, says why I said this, there should be some reason why I said this. And she sits back and thinks, and Vyasdev comes and explain why it's so. And that's why Kunti also decides to go to whatever she said, she decides to implement that. After consulting Vyasdev, who is their grandfather. Vyasdev is a son of Satyavati too. So she becomes some type of father-in-law type of relationship for Kunti.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Is there any questions? Can I continue? So if there is any, please put in the chat box. So like this, the life goes, and she lives 13 years. She doesn't go with the Pandavas. She is living in Vidra's house. And after 13 years, they come back and ask the kingdom. Duryodhana, as usual, doesn't give the kingdom. The war is decided, and so many peace arrangements are going on. Last, Krishna comes for peace, and Krishna comes and meet Kunti Maharani. And then Kunti Maharani tells Krishna, now what happened to my daughter-in-law, Draupadi, was completely sinful, and it is unforgivable. So please don't stop this war. I want my sons to fight. I don't want my sons to be covered. I don't want my sons to give up. So please don't make a peace. Then Krishna assured us, okay, whatever you say it is. And you should know, if Kunti Maharani would have said to their sons, we are not going to fight, we are going to go back to the forest and live, all our 5 sons without even questioning her would have obeyed. Since she did not say that, she is one more person who could have stopped this war. Kunti is one more person. If she would have told no need of war, this war would not have happened. She could have stopped the war, but she did not stop it. So there is a decision You're a woman. You can make a decision. There are some people to listen you. And the whole war happens and nobody is happy after the war. And she is not making that decision. That means how much responsible she is for the decision she is made. You have to understand. And on the side of Gandhari, you can see Gandhari is coming in front of all. When Krishna's peace mission is happening, you can see that Gandhari is coming and pleading in front of Duryodhana, her son. Duryodhana, please don't fight. It is not going to help. Repeatedly, she is begging, pleading, scolding, whatever she tries. And you can see the other mother, Gandhari, is completely disobeyed by all the sons. Nobody listens other than Vikarna. So we have two mothers. One mother who can stop the war, but she is not stopping. Another mother who wants to stop the war, but the sons are not listening. So Kunti is much more powerful, and she takes some decisions which affects the whole Mahabharata, and she is to be held responsible for whatever decision she makes. And that is the character of Kunti Maharani, we can say. And this is not the only incident. Again, the war starts. Before the war, Kunti Maharani, first time in her life, she decides to reveal the secret to Karna. She decides to go and meet Karna. When she decides to go and meet Karna, she doesn't tell her sons, doesn't tell Vidura, under whom she is living, doesn't go and meet Bhishma, her grandfather, and tell him. She is not doing anything. She again takes an independent decision without telling anybody, goes and meet her son Karna. You have to understand what is a painful situation it is this. Your son is, you throw it away, you somewhere left the son in a river, and then after that you find after some years, and you meet the son, you're going to meet the son, maybe this is after, I assume it is after 60 years or 80 years. Those days they lived 100 years. And it is maybe, I think, if I'm right, Krishna was 125 years. It is at the age of 80 or 60, somewhere around. After 60 years or 80 years, you are going to meet your son first time. And Kunti Maharani knows that this will be the last time also. She knows that Karna will die in this war. Because she knows that Krishna is very powerful. Krishna will do something to kill Karna. She knows very clearly. Your first time in your life, you are going to meet your son after 8 years or whatever it is. And it is a first and last meeting it is going to be. So what are the emotions which will be running in the mind of a mother, you have to see. So that is the type of meeting which is happening in that time. And she goes and does some political conversation where she asks, no, please come back this side. I'll tell Yudhishthira to make you a king. And Karna is telling, no, that is not going to happen. Last minute, if I ditch my friend, it is going to be very unfair, which I'm not going to do it. And he is a little angry with the mother. Why you not? Because first time, at least Kunti Maharani know that Karna is my son much before, but Karna never knew. And he never, first time in his life, he comes to know that I'm Kunti, that great mother is my mother, and I'm fighting against my own brothers. He's coming to know first time in his life. But for Kunti, it is not first time. She knows very well. And so many emotions are running in mind of Karna. And though it was a political meeting, it was not an emotional meeting between a son and a mother. It was pure political meeting where it was political things, what to do, what not to do. But even at the end of the meeting, Karna could not resist, or Kunti could not resist. They are just at this elderly age, both are hugging each other and crying, which they cannot avoid it. So what type of emotions would have run in their mothers? We say women are soft, but no soft woman can deal such a situation. Or even a man cannot deal with such a situation. Such a situation, Kunti Maharani is dealing wonderfully. And what has to be done according to Dharma. And she comes out very clearly knowing that my son is going to die. This is the last meeting. Karna also decides, no, I will not tell anybody. She also requests not to confuse anybody. They again keep the secret. So you know a secret. If that secret is revealed to the whole world, if Yudhishthira comes to know that my brother is Karna, do you know that he is going to fight? He's never going to fight after that. When he comes to know after the death of Karna that Karna was my brother, that is the first time and last time in his whole life she was angry against Kunti Maharani. She curses Kunti Maharani in that whole, not only Kunti, the whole woman world, saying that they cannot keep secrets. So such a secret is kept by Kunti Maharani, which can decide the whole Mahabharata this way, that way. If the whole people come, even Duryodhana or anybody comes to know that Karna is the eldest son of Kunti, the whole Mahabharata is going to change. Everything is going to change. But she decides to keep the secret, and she has to take the responsibility, and she does it without telling to anybody, and she takes a decision. And like that, in whole, we can see that she whole life, so many political and so many managerial decisions she has to take because her husband was not there. You think about the situation, all these decisions we saw. If her husband would have been there, others should have faced all these difficulties. And she could not discuss anything with anybody because there are nobody to protect her. When Draupadi was disrobed, grandfather Bhishma was there, Vidura was there, King Dhritarashtra was there, everybody was there. It is not that everybody was there, but still they allowed their daughter-in-law to be disrobed. And it is not that their sons were not there, everybody was there. And she knows that when it comes to situation, nobody can help her, she is alone. She has to protect kids and their kids alone. Nobody she can count. And that's why she takes a decision on her own. She knows that she is the only protector of the kingdom, and she takes the decision. And in this whole life, we can see that the only person who comes to her rescue is Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna. So it is not that she takes whimsically all the decisions. All these decisions she takes by surrendering her life to Lord Krishna. We can see that. So such a woman, if you want to know what she speaks at the end of the fake end of the life, you have to go to Srimad Bhagavatam 8th chapter and read. There are 20 wonderful shlokas given by her. So the whole war ends, everything ends, and still her life, whom all the children she protected, they are well settled, they decides to leave them. There are two versions. According to Mahabharata, she leaves all the children and go with her sister Gandhari to the forest, and they do a penance there and die. In spite of protecting the children, in spite of doing all the good for that, last fake end of life, she is not attached to the children. She decides that enough is enough. Now they have grown up, they have got their own life. There is no role for me. I have to go and see my spiritual life. And she goes and decides to go to forest, and that too she goes with Gandhari, the elderly, who is elder to her, and naturally she is a husband's brother's elder brother's wife. So she has to serve her. She decides to go with them and dedicate the life and do a penance and die there. So no woman, she is a woman. First, she is not able to live with her father. She is gifted to another one. Suddenly she is getting a child before her marriage, and after marriage she is not able to produce children, and she has to produce children with other men. And after that, husband dies, she becomes a widow. After that, she goes and live with somebody. Those people poison the children, and first child comes back, and first child becomes enemy of the other child. Like that, you can, whatever difficulties in your life, you please list it out, and you cannot find one difficulty in your life which is little better than, little worse than Kunti Maharani. You say anything in your life, you write what are all the difficulties in your life, you write it down. You cannot find a single difficulty you got in your life which is Kunti Maharani did not get it. Always she got better difficulty than what you have got. But after getting all those difficulties, she is giving a shloka, Bhava Darshanam, Bhava Darshanam. If you see all the difficulties on this life, whenever I saw all the difficulties in my life, that is the time I realized that Krishna is there. That is the time I realized that God is there with me. So she is praying at the fake end of his life, saying that no, I don't want that my life becomes smooth or peaceful, that all the difficulty come again and again in my life, but I don't want to leave the shelter of Krishna. Wonderful prayer she makes. So here is a lady 100% surrender to God. That's why whatever decision she made, whatever difficulties in her life she faced, she could face it without the support of anybody. Such a wonderful lady we can see. So that's why we call her Queen Kunti. And Kunti Maharani, she is considered one of the wonderful ladies in Srimad Bhagavatam, and she is worth enough to follow by anybody, not either woman or man. Anybody can follow. So we should be very, very grateful and always in a prayerful mood approach the Shlokas of Kunti Maharani, which is available in the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please read that. I can Google it. It's there. So this is, I thank all of you for giving your valuable time to hear me. I hope I helped you in connecting you to the stories from our Puranas. Thank you for giving me opportunities. If there is any clarification or anything. So in our life, the essence is the story is simple. The essence is if you are surrendered to God, if you have 100% faith in God, you can face this world, you can do anything, right or wrong. If you have 100% surrender to God, you can do it. If you don't have that connection to the God, decisions you make in your life, whether good or bad, is not going to help you. If you are connected to the God, you can take the risk of making any decisions, anything in your life without even worrying whether it is right or wrong. Hare Krishna. I'm waiting for questions. Otherwise, questions, clarifications, anything, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It was a very wonderful class. Thank you so much for giving a wonderful class and telling about the Queen Kunti to us. So my question is, as you said, we have to completely surrender to Krishna, 100%. We have to fully surrender, and for that we need to have a faith. So this faith comes by chanting, right? By chanting, hearing about Krishna. So usually when we will come to know that we have developed 100% faith in Krishna?
Faith is not absolute. You cannot say that even Kunti has 100% faith. It is always faith is not static, it is a dynamic. Always improves. Even Radharani, she is undergone test by Krishna. Kurukmani, she is tested by Krishna. So it is always there is something which we can improve. So faith is a dynamic thing which always get improves and people improve. And the devotees improve the faith on Krishna, and Krishna improves. Krishna himself saying, I am improved. He is doing something which so that he can understand the devotees. He can develop more faith on devotees. So it is not that Krishna is also improving the faith on us, and we are also improving. It's a love. Our whole bhakti means it is a love. It is completely based on love relationship, where we revive our relationship with the Lord and we understand them more. And for example, anybody married, we know that initially in the marriage phase, we think something and we do a lot of mistake in relationship. And when the age crosses 45, 50, and the children get settled and everything, and there is a different phase which comes in our life, where when we think back, sit and think in our life, we know that I would have better reacted to my wife, I would have better reacted to my husband. And we think and think back after 30 years, we realize that we could have done we could have done many things better way. I hope my connection is okay. I'm audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you're audible.
So there is always a lot of, it is about, bhakti is about love to God. And loving God means loving everybody. Because at the end of the day, everybody is a servant and part of parcels of Lord. So faith is something which we can improve always. So whatever faith you have, that much use. That is first question. Second question, how to improve the faith? It is not that only chanting alone improves the faith. There are so many ways which we can improve the faith. There are Navavida Bhakti we say. But one method which is given in Bhagavatam is Janma Karma Same Divyam Yome Vetvi Tatpatahat Vaktava Devam Punarjanma Naitima Metiso Arjuna. Just by hearing about these wonderful characters, we develop more faith. So in Kali Yuga, the better method is just we hear stories about them and we develop automatically faith. That's why for Shivaji, her mother tells the stories of great kings and develops the faith on her. So that's why we have to teach these Purani characters to our children and improve the faith for the people. So that is the way it is done. I hope satisfy you. So there is the next question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your answer.
The next question is from Rituja. How to remove confusions in love? how do we understand what Krishna wants us to do? How to remove confusions in life? How do we understand what Krishna wants us to do? Yes. Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the 8th chapter. If you go to the 7th chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam, even when Krishna was there, for example, you read the whole Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita starts like this. Arjuna doesn't want to fight. And Krishna tells her, no, it is not good that you don't, if you go back and not fight, it is better you fight. But if you see the last slokas of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna doesn't tell them, no, I am the God. I am telling you fight. No, Krishna comes and doesn't tell like that. Krishna, you can see the last, 18th chapter, if you go to the 60th, that part of slokas, Krishna tells Arjuna, now I have told you from my side, please do whatever you feel right. What you want to do, please do it. Krishna is never going to come and tell us what you should do. We are not robots made by Krishna, where it is a program, how it should happen, how it should not happen. For example, you have to understand it more. You have a child. Do you want to tell your child what to do every time, 24 hours? People doesn't like a robotic child. People always like a naughty child. So Krishna also wants us to give some independence. He will never decide your life. So you don't think that someday Krishna will tell us what is I have to do for my life, 100%. No, it is not going to happen. He has given us independence. He will give us guidance. This is better, that's better. But decision is to be us. He is never going to decide for us. So it becomes a little complicated. It's one way good, one way bad. One way good that we have independence, one way bad that we don't know what Krishna really wants us. But when we more get connected to Krishna, we'll little bit understand more. Okay, this Krishna is saying that not to do. Krishna is saying this to do. It is the more we get connected. For example, the more we love a person, we know what he likes, what doesn't he likes. Without having a relationship with person, for example, many people doesn't know me. I have not seen many of you. You don't know what I like. I don't know what you like. But more we speak to each other, we may know each other. Then we know what is good for. So similarly, it is like that with God. The more we surrender, more we come to know. So initially there will be a lot of confusion, what to do, what not to do. And particularly when you go and ask, for example, you are going to do business. You are going before Giridhari and praying, shall I do a hotel business or shall I do a boutique? And you expect that Krishna to answer you either hotel or boutique, he is not going to answer. He will never answer you. He will only answer if you keep a boutique, what will happen? If you keep a hotel, what will happen? He is never going to decide for us. So you cannot expect that type of answers, never from Krishna. But he will give a broader idea. And if we are little intelligent, we can find it. I hope this answer satisfies. My answer satisfies. The answer is Krishna is not going to give and remove the confusion as it is. He will give only guidance. Is there any other questions?
Hi, Bhagavad Gita.
So,
Daddy,
so this is the this is the link which I posted in the chat box for the prayers for Kunti. Just the prayers alone, translation is given. If you can read it in 10 minutes, the translations alone. The prayers starts from Shloka 18. From 18, she is giving the prayers, wonderful prayers. It is up to 52 it goes. But the real prayer is 42. Oh Lord of Madhu, as Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted. How the Ganges water flow, that much flow my mind should be having towards you. That is the prayer she is asking. and her prayers end in 43rd sloka. So from 18 to 43, we can see all the prayers of Kunti Maharani. It takes hardly 15 minutes to read these prayers. Please read it, and I hope so you can relate to her, Kunti Maharani. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for all of you. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Namo Vishpadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhagalesh Madhe Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvisheshunyadi Pashat Desharani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Guru. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.